Alright, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another run here with the 389. This is the TAM officially released 3.1 version. Now, I do have a changelog, and I will put that... I think I've already said that once before with my last video I did on here, and I will go ahead and repost that information. So check out the description to see what in all has been added to this truck. Lots of parts here, interior options, everything. Now there's two different dashes because technically this is a 379, not actually a 389. I know there's been some talk from people, SDS releasing the 389, and they said, oh well, it's not a true 389, that's blah blah blah. Actually, yes it is. I've always heard talk that this is actually a 379 that I'm driving right now, but we just call it the 389. The main difference is between the two trucks, in the real world anyway, is that the hood is 4 inches longer on the 389 than it is on the 379. Also, besides the headlights, obviously, it's more rounded at the front. I've always been told also the difference between the two trucks is between the grille and the cab. The 379 has more of a slant because the grille is a little smaller and the 389 is a little bigger, mainly because all the emissions stuff that is now crammed underneath it. So, doesn't really look like that here in the game, but in the real world, that's how it is. This one here has options for the 389 as well as the 379, and there's a couple different ways to do that. Well, really mainly one. When you're selecting your interior, you have an option between the 389 and 379 type. And if you select the 379 type, it's going to show up all weird for you. Don't panic. It's normal. It's fine. Because when you get to your interior options after your outside options, that's where you're going to select the 389 and the 379 interiors. There's two versions of each, carbon, so on and so forth. And also on the outside, you have an option of selecting your interior for 379 and 389. So that's all these, like the seats and things like that. So if you wanted to make this a true 379, you can. If you want to make this a true 389, you can to a point. I don't believe a different hood is an option. There's so many option bubbles on this thing. It's easy to get lost. It's easy to sit there and click the same item 4 times and yet still miss what you're looking for. But on the outside, it still looks damn good. And it's damn good work by these guys. Some people have had issues. Their game will crash because this one or Viper's truck is in conflict with the SCS 389. For me, no issues. Everything loads up just fine. But for some, there have been issues. And of course, people are quick to point the finger at TAM or at Viper or SCS. And chances are, it's more or less just a priority thing. So if you are one of those people that are having the issues, try moving the truck around. Move it up higher on the priority list, maybe. Because come on, don't stop, please. You can stop. No, but you're not. Alright, keep turning. Come on. 9 times out of 10, it is a mod conflict, something that is going on when someone has an issue with a truck or a mod or something like that. The 10th time, that one time, yes, it could be a bad mod, but that would normally be the case if everyone is having the issue. Apparently here, not everyone is having the issue. A very small percentage of people are, so let's just take our time, people. If you haven't gotten around to loading this thing up or whatever, let's just take our time on things and not go flying off the deep end like, the game is broken and you can never play again. But people will still do that. So, nice long trip here. As you see, I'm hauling a fire dozer. This one is going down to Corpus, it just says Corpus. I thought it was Corpus Christi. It's going to the Union Pacific down there, so tipping the scales at 86,000 pounds. Not a light load by any means. This is on the Kozad trailer from D-Wade. I don't know if he's released an update for it. I know he has been talking about doing that, but I'm not on Facebook every day, so I'm pretty sure I have missed it if he has released it. Just like I'm going to miss that wall. Alright, I need to get in the cab. Enough of this outside stuff. So, hi, how are you? How was your weekend? Mine was interesting. Birthday party for a niece, and took my Gear VR. I didn't purchase, but I got it for free from Samsung. The story behind this, and this is all going to lead up into what I want to talk about today with what's going on, is I bought a Note 7, loved it, and Verizon sold me on it. They said, oh, the new ones are coming out, the fixed ones are coming out, and we can have it shipped to you in a couple days. Now, at the same time, the S7, both Edge and regular, had a promotional deal going on through Samsung for a Gear VR or a 256 gigabyte SD card. So I'm like, I really don't care about the SD card. I've already got some sitting at the house. No big deal for me. So I said, screw it, don't want to deal with it. And so, but they convinced me on the Note 7. Okay, fine, I'll go with that one. Get it in the mail on you get in front of me and then you slow down. Typical. Really freaking typical. I get it on a Friday, and by Monday or Tuesday the following week, I've got news reports from Samsung and the US government saying, shut your phone off now, return it. Okay, Samsung suggesting it, that's just chalking it up to they're just being precautious. The US government, or one of the branches, I forget which one it was, consumer safety maybe or something like that, saying turn it off immediately, that's a whole different story, because they're not going to come in there and say something like that just for shits and giggles. No. So, the wife and I talk it over. I said, doesn't matter if I charge wirelessly or plugged in, the phone doesn't get above room temperature. It never got hot. I drained that thing down to 15% battery, and it never got hot. Now, I got warm during normal use. I've had just about every phone I've had over the years get it warm or hot to the touch, but not during charging for this one. So maybe I'm one of the ones that isn't going to have an issue, because not every Note 7 is having the issue. But okay, I have the phone next to me on a wireless charger that is angled right towards my face every night. I don't need to run the risk of that thing deciding to catch fire and turn into a fountain, a 4th of July fountain in the middle of the night. That's not going to be the wake-up call I need. So, decided, okay, we'll get rid of it. The local Samsung store for us didn't have any in stock. Okay, that sucks. For the S7 Edge. None in stock. Go to Best Buy across the street. I think they only had was like gold or something like that, or rose. No thank you, pass on both of those. So call up the Best Buy that's in the mall. We've got one silver left. Alright, hold it, I'll be there in 10 minutes. So went over there, got that one. Got it all set up, case, the works. So call around and get a hold of Samsung. Alright, no problem, we'll see what we can do, and then finally get someone that's a little more understanding about it all. Hey, I was just part of this whole Note 7 fiasco. I'd like to know if it's... Because that was a day after. I got my S7 a day after the promotional Gear VR giveaway ended. So they said, alright, well, send us a receipt for your S7. And, then, because of course it's after the date, he'll get rejected. So call us back, and we'll escalate it. And escalating is a normal procedure with customer support. So if you guys ever have a problem with something, you do have the option of asking for it to be escalated. And what that means is an escalation, in my experience, working at Horizon Hobby, an escalation means that the person on the phone has to write up a whole nother report, or a ticket, if you will, and that gets sent up to the supervisor or the manager, depending on how big that department is. And then the supervisor or manager, well, normally the supervisor, in my case at Horizon, it was the supervisor. The supervisor reviews it, and then tries to resolve it, and then if he can't resolve it, he sends it up to the manager of the department, and then he is the final word. So I assume that most places that have customer support, larger places, not small places, larger places, this is how it would be resolved. And so this got sent up to her manager or her supervisor. So then they turn around, because I didn't hear anything for almost a week. So I call them back, hey, what's going on? Oh, we need you to send in the receipt for the Note 7 that you bought. Okay, fine. I do that the next day, send that in, and then I get an email within like 24 hours or 12 hours saying, what would you like, the gear, saying I was approved, saying, what would you like, the gear or the SD card? Well, give me the headset, give me the gear. So I got that 2 days. Well, actually next day. I did that. I replied back early in the morning. By the end of the day, it was already on a FedEx truck on the way here, and it got here the next day because it came out of Plainfield, Indiana. So, fire this bad boy up. Man, is that a trip. Holy crap. Now, here's where I wanted to talk about what I have planned and what I'm going to try to do anyway. ATS here has a VR option. So does iRacing and a handful of other games. They're starting to embrace VR. This is not a full-blown Oculus Rift or an HTC Vive, but this is the poor man's Oculus Rift. It is powered by Oculus. Even though it uses my phone, you know, it is an Oculus headset. And I'm going to leave this one right around there, 71. So I've already played a handful of games. I've actually tried ATS with the headset, with my phone. Now it's missing a couple things. Yeah, I can turn my head all over the place, but I couldn't lean forward, which to me was a bad thing because not all of these seats, you know, I would have to readjust my seats so I sit further. So I sit further forward, because if I'm sitting too far back, you know, I'm not going to be able to move up to see what's outside or anything. I can't adjust my head. Kind of a deal breaker for me. So I have to see if the head tracker will work and if that's going to cause an issue. So I'm doing a lot of reading, watching videos on YouTube about how people are getting their Gear VR set up. I'm looking to get a controller here so I can do other games, because there's multiple games out there that do have controller support, and using a keyboard, you know, doesn't work. But I'm really looking forward to that. And the thing I'm not too sure of, and I don't think it's going to really translate for you guys, is obviously you're not going to be able to see my games in VR. You'll be able to see what I see. But as far as the whole experience of what I'm seeing and how I'm seeing it, of course you guys will not be able to, unless you get a Gear VR and play the game for yourself that way. One little note though, I mean, it's not for everyone. I've been showing this thing off. I was at the niece's birthday party over the weekend. I had people going on roller coaster rides, and some of the guys at work I've shown it to during the week. And there's one for Cedar Point. I want to say it's the Valkyrie, but that's Valraven or something like that. That one will get you to turn your stomach. That one's trippy. But you know, there's one that's free. It's a Jurassic Park, and you see, it's not a Bronchosaurus or whatever it is. It's one of the smaller ones, but it's the same thing. This thing gets right up in your face, and there's people, you know, leaning back, going, "Whoa!" You know, and they're trying to swipe it away. You know, it's really fun, really cool. You get the headset on, and it just really helps put you into the immersion of the game. The only thing is, it messes with your mind. because you're seeing yourself on a roller coaster, and you're going through the corners and everything else, but your mind is going, hey, what the hell, I'm going through a corner here on this roller coaster, and I'm not feeling anything. I'm not feeling the G's. I'm not feeling my ass come out of the seat. I'm not feeling the wind in my face. Why am I just sitting here turning my head, but I'm not experiencing any of it? So, I'm going to wait. I think that's one area where it kind of causes the motion sickness, because your mind is being triggered to think it's feeling these things, but what it's receiving from the body is something completely different. The body is not sending the signals to match what the mind is perceiving, or what the mind thinks it should be getting. So, the Gear VR from Samsung, if you have, I think it's a Note 5 or S5 or newer. I have, obviously, the S7 like I mentioned, so, if you have a 7, then obviously you're good to go. If you have a Note 7, chances are you're not going to be able to use it, and that's one other reason why I decided to hand mine in, because the app, why am I going to keep the phone when app support isn't going to be there? Updates are not going to be there. Gear VR support is not going to be there. I'm basically going to be keeping a phone that isn't going to be usable for anything. No point. So, but yeah, $100 for this thing, really nice. It is a poor man's VR, because what's an Oculus Rift going for? Like $500 now? The PlayStation VR, which can only be played on the PlayStation, is what, $400, $350? So, and the HTC Vive, I hear that one's even more. That one's close to $1,000. Controllers usually add on to the price. The last price I saw was for the Oculus Rift with its touch controllers or whatever, and that was like $730. So, but the amount of games that are coming out for it, I was just watching Luke Cage on Netflix with the headset. The downside also I have found with this is there's no pass-through charging. I can hook this thing up to my computer via the goggles, and as I just said, I was playing ATS for a little bit, but I can't charge the phone through it. So, once the battery goes, and I'm done until the battery is charged. The phone does get pretty hot, so I've had to let the phone cool down a couple of times while I was at the birthday party. In fact, it told me, simulation is stopping until the phone cools down. Let your device cool. So, that is another problem as well. You cannot have a case on your phone when you pop it into this thing. That doesn't work. Ice Cream Man's going to wait because I went too far into the intersection. That's fine. You just stay right there. Now he's going to go. Now you're going to go. Yeah, get bent. I made one change to the truck here personally. The engine brake really doesn't do much for the truck, standalone as it is. I have added a line into the engine DEF file for this particular engine that adds the engine brake functionality to it. I'm going to run it a few more times to make sure there's no issues, to make sure it works, and then I will come on, get into gear. And then I will probably put out a video showing you guys how to do that. It does not work across all engines, meaning you cannot do it for one and expect it to work with others. If you want to jump from a Cummins N14 to a Cat C15, if that isn't already in the Cat C15 engine that you plan on using, you're going to have to go into the file and add it. So I'm going to run this for a little bit more, see how it works, and then I will probably make my choice from there. Welcome to San Antonio. I don't know if that was the cop right there or not. See, this is one of the reasons I don't like this coast to coast. Just nothing. There's nothing. That's just... ugh. I know there's a few of you guys that are watching this that wanted me to put this in, but... why? What is so cool about this besides being able to go to areas outside California? Really? Yeah, here's a good look at the multiple tires that are on this trailer. Usually I've been hauling something that covers all that up. You can see all the tires going all the way across. So, I mean, what do you guys think about that? Would you be, well, you're not going to be able to really tell any difference, me being in VR or not. That's the only downside. I can play iRacing, I can play American Truck Simulator and whatever else in VR, but you guys aren't going to really notice the difference. That is a downside. God, can you imagine playing 7 Days to Die in VR? Now, the difference between the Gear VR / Rift compared to the HTC Vive is, I guess, or Vive, V-I-V-E, that one you actually can or have to move around. The Rift / Gear, you stand in one spot. So, I think they recommend a spot of 15 by 15, and the same goes for the PlayStation. You have to be able to move around. You can't stay in one spot. So, but so far, I'm really loving it. Maybe I'll record a little bit, see if I can record or capture a little bit of gameplay on different things when I get into different games. One more street up. And of course, here come all the damn cars. Well, actually, since I need to get over, now's a good time to do it. Yeah, the engine brake that you can set here is on a scale of 1 to 10, from what I was told. Anything above a 7, no, don't even bother. It's just too high. I have mine set to a 5. Granted, I have a pretty heavy load, so maybe that's why it just seems like it's blowing right through it. No turn signals on the trailer. Didn't notice that before. This is an interesting spot for a Union Pacific area. No train tracks. Let me guess. Yep, all the way back there. How awesome. See if I can basically jackknife this trailer here. Yeah, I got around the jackknifing it, but a little too soon. And I ran out of space. Oh, too far. Did I hit the back here? Yep. Oh, see, I need to cut that corner. I waited too late. Casket School of How Not to Back Up. Get off the wall. Come on. I'm completely up on it. Damn it, all the hell. This parking spot sucks. Yeah, I'm about to skip parking this damn thing. This is annoying as hell. See, like, now I got the trailer going around, but I can't. There we go. There we go. Now I got her. There we go. Finally, half hour later. Time to drop this off. Alright guys, that is going to be it for now. I appreciate you guys watching. Yeah, we'll see if I can get some VR stuff on here. Like I said, I know you guys aren't going to be able to see it like I do, but you know, we'll see what kind of viewing experience it will be. So, until next time, take it easy.